On my Sony a7 III for my telephoto zoom lens, I used to have the original Tamron 70-180 f2.8 lens, and since then I have sold it and replaced it with the Sony 70-200 f2.8 G Master Mark II lens. Now with such a high-end lens, I was kind of wondering, what does the autofocus performance look like when you pair this up with the a7 III? Now, I do plan on replacing the a7 III eventually, but till then, we're stuck with it. So we're going to start talking about the camera settings that we have for the a7 III, followed by some example pictures as well as videos coming from the 70-200 mounted on the a7 III. On YouTube, I see a lot of people testing this lens out with human subjects, and that's definitely expected because this is such a popular portrait lens. However, a lot of the tests are either having people be very still or slowly moving, and for me, I wanted to change things up by not only doing some sportier shots, but instead, let's add in a puppy with these zoomies. The Tamron 70-180 f2.8 lens that I had wasn't perfect, but aside from the manual focus experience, it was generally pretty positive for what I originally needed it for. But it does struggle a little bit when my dog is running around because the pup is small and fast. And of course, the Sony a7 IV and some of the higher end cameras will have improved autofocus, including better algorithms and eye autofocus detection during video, which is lacking on the a7 III. And now, the question is, what if you only have the Sony a7 III? Fun fact, the Sony a7 III did not originally come with Animal Eye AF. That capability didn't come into play until version 3.0 of the firmware update, which rolled out in 2019. Here are my camera settings. I do want to point out that for most of my shots, I did not document the focus area setting that I've used. I used a combination of wide, zone, and flexible spot. On to some tests and samples. Let's compare autofocus in video mode. I forgot to test comparing focusing speed while in photo mode before I sold my Tamron lens, so unfortunately I don't have that for you. With the Sony 70-200 G Master Mark II, you can see in photo mode how fast the autofocus racks between the two different points. And mind you, this is still all done on the Sony a7 III. I went out to the yard and took some photos of our dog Bao Bao running around. In bright lighting, the dog's eyes are in focus. Ooh. And now for some video tests. I'll shoot in standard video with 30 frames per second. Oh, and by the way, with the a7 III, part of its technical limitations include no eye autofocus during video. Eye autofocus only works in still photo mode. Next up, we'll shoot in S&Q mode with 120 frames per second. Good boy. Now, let's head inside and try some darker lighting conditions. What I found here is that we're hitting the limit of the A7 III for tracking moving subjects while indoors with this level of light. In lower light, if the subject is still, it does perform okay, but it does have trouble keeping up if the dog is walking around.
Bobo. Bobo, come.
The animal eye autofocus works with the dog not moving for a still photo, but now let's add some motion when Baba is walking around. I got the flash on to cut out motion blur, and I have set my shutter speed to 1/200th of a second. The A7 III really struggles here and is not able to keep up for most of the shots, even with the new Sony 70-200 G Master Mark II. I did have success with one of the pictures, so it is possible, but there's a lot more failures than I like here. With this one, I do see Baba kind of staring at me a little bit sus just because I'm laying down in the middle of the hallway taking pictures like a creep. In conclusion, you can see the Sony A7 III struggle a little bit in certain circumstances, but not in all. So I think your mileage may vary depending on your shooting conditions and your budget. That's all I got for today. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe if you haven't done so already, and I'll see you in the next video.